Did you know nearly 60% of management positions at Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina are held by women? Finding mentors can be a challenge for women, yet mentorship is key to a successful career. Today, we're talking with Sonya and Markelya Robinson about their experiences as women in the workplace.
Okay, so my first question would be, what advice would you give someone that's trying to that's interested in growing with the company?
Yeah, my first advice would be if you're interested in growing with the company, look for opportunities, right, within your current area. You want to, understand what your team or your department or your organization's goals are. What are their strategies? What are those visions? And be that person who's seeking out to do, what nobody else wants to do, right? Um, Continually ask, kind of do a litmus test on yourself throughout, to ask yourself what next, what else should I be looking into, what else should I be doing. And I think if you keep, you kind of keep that pace and kind of set up that regimen up front, you'll continue to grow and expand your knowledge and your insights, and it'll set you up, and things will kind of flow naturally from there.
A follow-up question to that would be, what's one challenge or obstacle you had to deal with, no matter the position you held?
I'll tell you, I've been with the company now for almost 20, a little bit over 23 years. It'll be 24 years in October. And I can tell you, you have a lot of obstacles and adversities, but I think the biggest one that I've had, to be honest with you, is overthinking. You know, it's,
Mhm.
it, it's, there's a saying, you can be your own worst enemy at times. Um, you ever had that experience? You kind of overthink
Yes,
things.
ma'am.
And so I think that's been the biggest obstacle. There have been situations where I've moved around the company. I've had a lot of great opportunities to work on some high profile efforts. And the one story I'll share is when I started out with the company, I was a developer and I worked in a certain area for say 8.5 years. And then so I started as a programmer and I progressed to be a subject matter expert. And so I really knew my team. We were like a family, and we really
Mhm.
enjoyed each other. But I got to a point in my career, I wanted to do something different. So
Yeah.
long story short, I changed areas. I went from, I worked in PGBA systems, TRICARE, our government business side, and I moved over to our commercial business area. Well, guess what? I didn't know anybody there,
Right.
right? So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
had to, yeah, I had to learn that team. I had to gain their trust and their respect. And going over there, what I had to do was kind of do a mind shift, a reset per se, and not set too many high expectations for myself, but just
Mhm.
bring over those skills and the knowledge and the abilities that I did have, and learn how to cultivate in a team and not overthink everything or overanalyze it. Put too much pressure on yourself.
So my last question would be, what are some hard choices you made to get where you are in your career today?
I've had to go into situations where I came in not as the expert, um, into a
Mhm.
team of folks that have been working for a long time. So these folks have been working on a project for almost a year and a half, and they had to go back and tell their leader and their boss that they weren't going to make the timeline that was ahead of them, right? And so they were already looking at it. And here I come in, I got brought in at the last minute to come over and work with those guys and kind of get at the table and figure out how we are going to get this done, right? And so what did I have to do? You had to come in and build those relationships. You had to gain their respect and their trust. That was tough, right? And then I had to make a hard decision, right? What, and then they kind of voluntold me a little bit. We worked
Mhm.
together to kind of say, no, you're going to help us package this message, right? Right. And so the decision there, though, it kind of was, you can say, well, that's not a decision. That's your work. That's your job. That's what you had to do.
Right.
But you had to make decisions on how you were going to go in there and handle all those steps to get that information. Because here you came in at the tail end, and now you're going to be delivering a message to someone who can look at you to go say, they're going to look at you and say, well, who are you? Right?
Right.
Do you have that credibility? Do you have all that knowledge? And so, um, it was tough, right? Kind of accepted that assignment and going with it. But again, it wasn't about me. I didn't make it about myself. It was about a team effort. So we sat down, We figured out how to package the message, and we did it together. And luckily, we were able to adjust it and get the project, kind of planned out how we could implement it successfully, and that's exactly what we did. So
Thanks for talking with us today.
thank you guys for the opportunity. This has been great. And Markelya, you have my information, and you know where I'm at. So now I'm going to be checking on you.
I was just about to ask that. I was about to ask, is it okay for me to keep in contact?
My door is always open. My virtual door is always open. I will be more than honored, and I'll be happy to assist you on your journey. So thank you guys.
Thank you.